Chapter 12, Artistic Evolution, From Writer to Illustrator. Beatrix Potter, renowned primarily as an author of children's literature, is perhaps less universally recognized as a talented illustrator and painter who evolved through phases of artistic expression as her career unfolded. In this chapter, we explore the intriguing journey of her artistic development from her early simplistic illustrations to the more intricate and nuanced watercolor artworks that not only complemented her beloved tales, but also enhanced and deepened the narrative experience for her readers. This transformation signifies a profound evolution in her understanding of visual storytelling and establishes her as a multifaceted artist who utilized her skills not just to entertain, but to enchant and educate. Beatrix's early illustrations, while charming, were often characterized by their straightforwardness. They captured the essence of her subjects with delicate lines and soft colors, reflecting the pastoral settings of the English countryside that she loved so dearly. The whimsical nature of her characters, like Peter Rabbit and Jemima Puddle Duck, resonated deeply with young readers. Her initial forays into illustration were heavily influenced by the styles of her contemporaries, particularly the English illustrators of the late Victorian period. This was an era marked by a plethora of richly detailed illustrations in children's literature, and Beatrix, like many artists of her time, sought to find her voice amidst these established styles. The simplicity of her early work was a reflection of her own burgeoning artistic confidence. It was an initial exploration rather than a definitive representation of her capabilities. As Beatrix delved deeper into her artistic practice, her illustrations began to exhibit greater sophistication. This marked a critical transitional phase in her career, where she started to experiment with watercolor techniques that would later define her unique aesthetic. The shift from basic line drawings to layered, vibrant compositions allowed Beatrix to imbue her work with depth and emotion. These changes were parallel to her growing confidence as both a writer and an illustrator. No longer satisfied with the constraints of traditional representation, Beatrix sought to capture the essential spirit of her characters and their environments. Her meticulous attention to detail and color brought her stories alive in ways that mere words could not. The woodland scenes, characterized by a richness in hue, infused her works with a sense of realism that invited readers to not only observe, but also to experience the world she was depicting. Part of Beatrix Potter's evolution as an artist was the influence of her surroundings. The quaint landscapes of the Lake District, with their rolling hills, serene lakes, and diverse wildlife, became a wellspring of inspiration. Each element of the landscape offered a backdrop that could be woven into her narratives. She became attuned to the rhythm of the seasons and the behaviors of the animals she loved to portray. This deep connection with nature facilitated a seamless integration of her experiences into her art, and she began to depict scenes that illuminated the relationships between her anthropomorphic characters and their environment. The evolution in her artistic technique mirrored the development of her stories, as both were interdependent. Her increasingly expressive watercolor skills enhanced the storytelling, inviting readers into a rich visual landscape that paralleled the imaginative worlds created by her narrative. Potter's artistic ambition was further tempered by her evolving understanding of her audience. While her early works were directed primarily toward children, she began to appreciate that her detailed illustrations could engage audiences of all ages. Through her mastery of watercolor, she separated herself from the confines of juvenile illustration, appealing to a broader demographic. The intricate batik-style backgrounds, lush foliage, and carefully rendered animal expressions now demanded attention not only from children, but also from adults who could admire her artistry. This crossover appeal enriched the cultural fabric of the time and positioned Beatrix as not just a children's author, but as a pioneering force in the world of illustration, capable of moving beyond categorization. To understand the intricacies of Beatrix's artistic journey, it is essential to examine how her personal experiences and formal training played a role in her creative growth. Early on, she sought tutelage from established watercolorists, and while she remained largely self-taught, her desire to improve her skills pushed her to study the works of artists she admired. This diligence culminated in a distinctive style that combined her intuitive grasp of form with a precise understanding of color theory. In her role as both writer and artist, Beatrix deftly wove together narrative and illustration, ensuring that each watercolor painting served not merely as an accompaniment, but as a vital extension of her story. Each stroke of color and shade transformed a static image into a dynamic moment in time, capable of evoking laughter, compassion, or even nostalgia. Furthermore, the strategies Beatrix employed to develop her illustrations also reveal her adaptability as an artist. She embraced and blended influences from both traditional botanical art and modern techniques to create an idiosyncratic style that was distinctly her own. Her genuine love for the animals and plants around her led to extensive studies of their forms and habitats, resulting in illustrations that resonate with authenticity. She could capture the essence of a rabbit's twitch or the quiet grace of a duck waddling across a pond through her brushstrokes and color choices. This attention to realism did not hinder her whimsical sensibilities. Rather, it allowed them to flourish in an organic way, creating a captivating tension between fantasy and reality. Beatrix Potter's artistic evolution is also marked by innovation. Moving from simple illustrations to elaborate scenes not only indicated her technical growth, but also her willingness to challenge the existing conventions of what children's book illustrations could and should be. She ventured beyond the traditional boundaries of narrative structure, incorporating full-page spreads that told a story through the interplay of image and text. This approach invited readers to explore the visual elements alongside the written word, transforming reading into an interactive and immersive experience. It was her understanding that images could convey emotions and stories in nuanced ways that enabled her to push the envelope, breaking free from the predominant styles of her time. Although Beatrix Potter's early illustrations helped solidify her place in children's literature, it was her later work that truly exemplified her artistic maturity. The nuanced watercolors of her later books evoke deep emotional responses and resonate with audiences long after the final page is turned. Stories such as The Tale of Jemima Puddle Duck and The Tale of Tom Kitten showcase Potter's evolution as an artist, where each character's personality is vividly realized through her use of color, light, and shadow. The intricate details, from the texture of feathers to the play of sunlight on grass, enabled her stories to transcend mere entertainment, allowing them to become poignant explorations of life, nature, and the relationships we cultivate. In conclusion, Beatrix Potter's transition from simplistic illustrations to intricate watercolor artworks signifies not only her personal artistic evolution, but also a broader redefinition of children's literature itself. Through her dedication to capturing the essence of her stories visually, she created a body of work that has endured the test of time, captivating and inspiring generations. Her ability to convey complex emotions, rich environments, and enchanting narratives through her art showcases her as a pioneering figure in the literary and artistic world. The interplay of text and image in her works continues to serve as a testament to the power of storytelling, reminding us of the beauty found in both the written word and the art that complements it. As we reflect on Beatrix Potter's legacy, we recognize her not just as a beloved author, but as an innovative illustrator whose artistic journey has left an indelible mark on the landscape of children's literature.